Hey, welcome to Annulez with Kate and Gail.
You mean Gail and Kate.
Oh, I do? Yeah.
And Lucy.
Today, we're talking about closing streets to cars. Specifically, Parc Baldwin. Super old, but, wait, stop it again.
Who, Baldwin is old? Or the park is old?
No, Baldwin, yeah, well, Baldwin's older than the
So
park.
he's dead now.
He's dead now. Yeah. This is Parc Baldwin, the north side. It used to be a professional speed race bike track.
Bike track?
Yeah. And the south used to be a dump. That has been converted to a park.
What proud history.
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of bad because, like, it's still seeping methane. And so people are like, it's making us sick. The city's like, no, it's not.
You're fine. Is this the dump half or the cycle track?
This is the cycle track half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Which had through traffic in the middle of the park.
In the middle of the park?
In the middle of the park, yeah. There's still lots of them like that, but they're slowly disappearing. Yeah. And these are, this is a really good case because before it was a link to, well, actually, this happens a lot, but...
Who put these streets in is what I want to know.
Yeah, it was a giant mistake. But it could also be, I'm not sure, but that the park expanded to the other side of the street. So the street came before the park.
And then they...
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
So Marianne is the one that goes east.
The one-way streets, too. Okay, that's probably better.
No, Montreal East.
Right.
Yeah, okay, because it's not a one. But the reason that Marianne is so impressive is that Iberville and Frontenac go to and from a major highway just down the road. So all of this kind of like local traffic or neighboring traffic would go on to Marianne as a shortcut to avoid the arteries that were congested, to take Frontenac and Iberville to the highway. So that the consequence is that Marianne was super congested all the time. Like, stop and go traffic. No good. Okay, so this is the access to the highway that we talked about. So maybe I'll do some koopy to make that line up. But here we're biking on Marianne towards the east. And you can see on the top, that's where the photo of the street, what it used to look like. And this is what it's like now. So there's a garden that blocks access to clearly identify to cars that it is not traversable. And so then you go up and onto it, and you got a little girl hiding behind a box. Maybe picking some mushrooms. And yeah, but this is it.
Oh, she's so cute.
Yeah, and if we had sound before, you'd be able to compare the like honking car, vroom vroom, stop go, to my car bouncing on all the gravel.
Your car.
My bike, yeah. My bike bouncing on all the gravel. This is again in, this was in 2018, so last year, 2019.
Ooh.
What you seeing?
Them paving stones.
Yeah, the paving stones are cute. You can see the school here, this elementary school. So before there would always be people dropping off and picking up their children, which would mean that like people would drop their kids off and the kids would have to jet across the street as other cars are swerving through cars that are double parked. No one could see anything. It was a chaos and very dangerous. So now in limiting car access, there's far fewer cars that drop their kids off, and if they do, they drop it off along the street, which is safer because they don't have to cross in the middle of a chaotic beehive of swerving cars.
A beehive?
A chaotic beehive of swerving cars.
Well, damn.
Unacceptable. And they can walk more leisurely. Yeah. And it also connects the school and the church to the park so that the kids can go directly into the park to play without having to cross the streets. Yes.
So probably like people died at some point. Maybe not here, but somewhere, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Many people die every year.
No, but
by
like
cars.
Yeah. But on this, I guess not maybe here at this juncture, but like somewhere in the park.
Yeah, I mean, this year,
lives.
I think there have been 2 children that have been hit by cars going quickly through a ruelle. Now, this wasn't a ruelle, but it's in the same place that a ruelle would be. And part of it is because the street's so narrow, they can't really see, and they don't expect people to be playing there because it's a street. So if you close it to cars, then people can play there safely. And one time, actually, it was just like someone didn't stop for a crosswalk, and the dad was like pushing the kid in a stroller, but the kid wasn't buckled in, so when he pulled the stroller, the kid fell and then got crushed. Yeah, it's graphic.
It doesn't need to be graphic. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. True. And that wasn't here. That was like in the same neighborhood, but on St. Joseph, which is one street up, two streets up, maybe
so
three.
It happens.
Yeah.
Whether or not it happens here.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, you get the pretty, like, balconies, which are delicious.
So many stairs.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a pain to move in.
Oh, yeah.
And then in winter, when they get covered in ice, it's also a disaster.
Can you shovel stairs?
You have to.
Bitch, you better.
Because if you don't, it is... Well, one, it turns to ice, then you can't get it off, and so you're trapped like that for the entire winter. And two, it's slippery as fuck, because you get this little mountain, so then it's like walking on triangles.
So a slope down. And
well, yeah, because like the snow creates like a mountain. It's not flat.
Oh.
And it's super slippery. Yeah, it's chaos.
But now it's all sunshine.
Yeah. For us, it's May, so this is
Why
like...
do we live here?
Well, if you shovel, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
And my stairs are on the inside, so this is not a problem for me. Again, with the snow, it's a legit problem. It causes serious logistics. Because, I don't know if you can notice, but the stop sign and the pole, the light pole, are in the sidewalk. And the sidewalk is already narrow as it is. It's probably a little less than a meter. But the snow plowing machines require at least a meter clearance, and then they need room on the side so they're not tearing the fence down. So it's literally impossible. You couldn't even fit half of the snow machine down the sidewalk. So the sidewalks weren't plowed, which means that kids getting dropped off here on Rachel, which is the main street, didn't have a sidewalk to walk on. So they would have to walk in the road with people driving
in icy snow
in the opposite direction. So then they would have to like climb up onto the sidewalk, let the car pass, climb down. But right before school, it's highly frequented. So chaos. It's bad. Now, what we're about to see is that it's closed down. Benches, trees, gravel streets, luxury, darling. Luxury.
all the fixins.
Yes. Pedestrian could not ask for more. Well, actually, they could ask for flowers, but yeah.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, it's a genuine improvement.
Oh yeah. What's the greatest who had that idea?
Well, how do I get the most pleasure out of it?
Yeah.
It's reading the articles about the angry cars. Or I guess the angry drivers, but they make angry cars.
They make it all worth it.
Yeah, it's a definite plus.
All those honkers.
All those honkers.
We gave them something to honk about.